So today we are going to be creating this web UI animation, and it's surprisingly simple. I've got my microphone set up right here with an HDRI. And basically what I want to do is bring in an image, then divide those up and make sure that we get some 3D parts of it. So you can get all the reference images from Patreon for free. I'm going to Shift A image, add a mesh plane. So right here I've added this Google image as the first one. And I'm going into edit mode. I will place some loop cuts. So I will place one right over there. I will also place one right here because I want those buttons to be separated right here. I want the search button to be separated. I'm also going to place a loop cut right over there and right over there, right over there. I'm going to place a loop cut right here. All right, awesome. So I'm going to select this first and I will press P, separate the selection. So this is now its own selection, and this one can have a different material. So I'm going to give it a glass material and perhaps place the roughness down just a little bit, and we can play around with the IOR later. So now I'm going into this material right here. I will select those two. And before we actually make changes, let's add some modifiers. So first of all, I'm going to add a solidify modifier, and I will add a bevel modifier. So we have some thickness to this. You can make this however thick you would like. I'm going to increase the segments of the bevel and play around with the way this looks just a little bit. Maybe something like that is cool. Now I'm going right here, P, separate the selection. Then I will select this one, P, separate the selection. And I think we forgot to place a loop cut right over there. But this one can also be separated. Then I'm going to select the entire Google search option, P, separate the selection, separate the selection. And what I'm simply going to do is select all of this, press M, new collection, and I will call it Web UI. So Web UI. And now I will bring in another empty mesh plane and do the same for the Amazon website. You can do this with whatever e-commerce website you want, or you can make your own layout. I just simply took a screenshot from Amazon to make it simple. Let's have a look at this. We're going to place a loop cut right over there. We can remove this entire top part, and then I will simply place a loop cut right here and also one right over there. Cool. Now this part can be deleted, and this one should be separated from the other ones like this. Now I'm going to select both of these, and then I will select one of these last. Go into the modifiers, and then I'll set this to copy to selected, copy to selected. And now this should also have some thickness and a bevel. So let's add a camera, and then I will select all the web UI RX90, press on 0. And we basically want to make the final frame. So we're going to frame, let's say 66. And then right over there, I will rotate this around and make sure that we get the final look. So perhaps it should be placed a bit more into the center, where we can see it. That's nice. Then I'm going to select these. And we should have probably rotated it at the same time as this one. No problem, I'm just going to do it by eye for now. RZ. And then I will also take the microphone and scale it down until it fits right over there. Cool. Now we might need to play around with where this is located. So let's place it right over here. We can maybe scale it up as well because it's a perspective trick. And maybe we can even have it come through the glass. Awesome. So now I will give it a background. So let's click on plane, RX90. Let's bring this back. And then I will duplicate this, Shift D, RX90, RX90. Bring it down, bring it over here. And I will immediately give this a material shader editor, new, Control Shift T. And the one I'm using is Wood 58. Principled. Let's go over here, U, unwrap, Q projection, UV editor, and rotate it 90 degrees. Let's have a look. Looks nice. RX90. I'm also going to make sure it's coming somewhat towards the middle of this. So it's facing upwards just a little bit, R and X. All right, so what I'm going to do, go to the timeline and go to frame 66, for example. First thing I'm going to do is click on our microphone, and it has the correct position right there. I'm going to press on all of these as well. So select all the web UI and then press I. And now everything should have its respective keyframe. And then I will simply select some of these things like this one, and I will place it, I don't know, this one can go over here. I'm going to GZZ everything to move it on the normal axis. And the Amazon can come from the back, like so. And now I'm simply going to select everything again and press I. So what do we have now? Now it is coming inwards and forming the UI. That's great. And what I want to do now is go over here, take our microphone, make sure it is somewhere over here, maybe slightly rotate it, play around with it a little bit, something like this. Press I, so this also has an animation. Then I'm going to press Shift S, cursor to selected. Let's make sure that we add an empty sphere, spherical empty. Select the camera, select the spherical empty last, Control P, keep transform. And now we basically want the camera to end right here. So I'm going to frame 66, I believe it was frame 66. Yes, that's correct. Press I, and then go to frame 1, and let's play around with this. So maybe we can rotate it in some different type of fashions, something like this, and press I. And now I also want to add a depth of field perspective. Shift right mouse click on the microphone. Let's add another empty. This time I'm going to use arrows because I find it easy to see what it is. Go to the camera, select depth of field, and select the arrows, which we've got right now. Then we're going to select the arrow, then select the body of the microphone, Control P, and Object Keep Transform. So now it will stick to the microphone. Now let's go back into the camera and let's actually give this some f-stop. So now some things in the background are becoming blurred and that makes it seem a bit more cinematic, or so I find that to be the case. Cool, but we still don't have an animation. So I'm going to select our microphone empty and then all the web UI, holding Control, and then I will go into the graph editor. Now, working with this separately, bit by bit, it's a bit too much work for my liking. So what I like to do, simply grab all of this, S and X, and let's bring it closer towards each other, like so. And then it is moving slowly, whoop, and it's making its main motion right here, whoop. And now all we need to do is go to our spherical empty, which I believe is this one, and give it a final animation starting from frame 66, maybe to 75. And whatever way we rotate it in is the same way that we have to rotate the next one as well. On one axis, I think this axis right here, and press I. Let's have a look. It's coming in too slowly. It's simply a Z rotation, so I'm going to open that up. Right over here, and I will move this handle to be a bit more aggressive. There you go. Could be even more aggressive though, so I think we can place this all the way up here. All right, we're going to cut right here anyways, so let's do that. So now we have the basis of this animation. It's already starting to look pretty good. Then it's going to transition into a new shot. So let's go over there, it's frame 69. And I'm going to add a new camera right here. And in the timeline, I will press Control B, and this will make it a separate camera. Now it's going to switch cameras. Oh, we forgot to place the first camera. That's always handy. Let's see, where is it? Where is our original camera? This one. Go to frame 1, Control B. Now let's have a look. It's doing the animation, up, switching out, and then we move towards the other camera. So bring in a new mesh plane, Shift A, Image, Mesh Plane, which simply has the Amazon part built into it. I'm going to place it right here. I will place the 3D cursor right there. Let's add another spherical empty, camera, spherical empty, Control P, keep transform. And then from here on out, I'm going to place a keyframe on the spherical empty. And now I will rotate it in the same fashion as we did the previous one. And now it's in the way in our previous render. So what I'm going to do is go over here. It's the Amazon microphone image. And right here, I will turn it off in the render. And on frame 71, it should be turned on. So press I right there. And now all we need to do is go to this spherical empty, go to the graph editor and move this upwards because we want it to be fast in the beginning. Cool. Let's have a look in this mode. Yeah, did you see the transition? I'm going to bring this down so you can see it better. There you go. So it's transitioning nicely into the next shot. Now the final thing I'm going to add is a mouse. So I'm going to go make a cube, scale this down. I'm going to place 2 loop cuts right there. I will E this to bring it out. Then I will select the entire top area and S and X to bring it inside. So now we have a mouse, very simple stuff. And we can Control A, apply the scale, add a bevel for example in order to make it look slightly more round. Let's increase the amount of this. That's great. Let's give it a new material. I'm going to give it glass. Let's bring the scale down. I think this looks pretty cool. All right, so now all we need to do is place a play button right here. So I'm going to add another cube like this. S and Y, G and Y. And this one should just be a play button. So I'm simply going to take this line, S and Z. And now that is a play button. I'm going to make this one darker. So let's make sure it looks like this with a bit of reflectiveness as well. Let's add a bevel. And now we have a play button as well. So let's go ahead and make a path for this thing to click on. I'm going to click right there. Curve, path, RC 90. I will delete those vertices. And now we'll specify the path for our mouse. Maybe something like this. Then I'm going to select this vertex, Shift S, cursor to selected. Select the mouse, Shift S, selection to cursor. Then I will go into the constraints right here, follow path. Make sure to follow this curve that we just created. And now it is offset. So let's go to the item, set all of this to 0 and it should be placed back. I'm going to set the curve. I'm going to set it to follow curve. So in that way it will follow along with the rotation of the curve instead of just doing its own thing in the wrong direction. All right. And now it's going to click on it. And of course we can rotate it just a little bit, make sure this looks cool. Starting from this camera, I'm going to bring the offset all the way over here. Press I, then go to the final-ish frame. That's going to be 110. And let's decrease this until our mouse has reached this point, which it has right here. Press I. So now it's already slowing down. And then I'm going to press I right here. So now we have our play button and I actually want to add a little clicking animation right here. So what I'll do is select this object, click on I, and then 3 or 4 frames in the future, I will bring it back and scale it up, press I, and then 2 frames in the future, I will rotate it like this and actually make sure that it's clicking this button. Then 1 frame before that, I want to press I on the play button. And then on frame 113, I'm going to scale this up to maybe make it seem as if it has been clicked. And then a couple of frames ahead, I will scale it down again. There you go. Up. Up. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. So now all we need to do is place some lighting, and I'm going to add a light right here. I'm going to place it on this side, make it a little bit further away, and have it shine quite brightly over there. Shift D. Let's place it on the other side as well. Maybe somewhere over here so we get that cool looking rim light. What I can do is add a gobo. So light, spotlight. Let's go over here. I'm simply going to add this one that I've already set up. Let's increase the power, place it right there. Let's increase the radius. Let's place the spotlight on the wall. I think that looks pretty cool. So let's see, bam, we've got a pretty cool animation right there. Up. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Of course, you can play around with the graph editor and make things a little bit different, make it more of your own, but this is the basis of making a web UI animation the simple way, because we now created it using simple images that we took apart and added some bevels to. So I hope in this video you learned how to create a very simple, stylistic looking web UI animation for your product, how to transition that using multiple cameras and using some path animations, some camera parented animations, and well, it actually was quite a lot. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, click on subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.